What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So there is a different sort of confidence and self-belief when you are the winning champion. Especially when you are looking that good at 6.5 weeks out. You should feel this confident. So Keone Pearson puts up a statement that he is gonna shock the world in 6.5 weeks time. And then he posts a recent quads update. I have to say, insane level of detail with so much time on hand. So Keone Pearson is one of the most genetically gifted athletes of this era, across all the bodybuilding divisions. I mean, even as a classic physique competitor, he was extremely good, that he placed top 4 at his Olympia debut. So in the initial years of his professional career, his mindset wasn't the strongest. But I think we can all agree he has matured a lot, especially in the last 2 years. So the Olympia 2022 was the first time we saw Keone in truly a great condition, and we saw the real potential. That if this guy puts it all together, it is gonna be game over for everyone. And it just took him 1 more year to win his first ever Miss Olympia title. So his structure is so damn insane that the competition must pray that he doesn't come in at 100%. Because the improvements that Keone has been able to make in this 2024 offseason, along with the condition that he aims to bring to the stage, he is gonna solidify himself, not only just as a 2-time champion, but also a guy who is gonna stay on the top for as long as he wants to. Just take a look at the back of 5 times classic physique champion Chris Bumstead as he trains with his coach Hani Wembot, going for his 6th title. And he is right where he needs to be at 6.5 weeks out of the big show. And if the rest of his prep also goes just as smoothly, then there is no reason to believe why we won't see the ultimate version of Chris Bumstead on the stage in October. And I think there are a lot of reasons to believe that he is gonna be at his all-time best. Because first of all, Chris started training during the off-season earlier than usual to give his body more time as he transitions into different phases of the prep. So Hani had him eat a lot of food even in the off-season, and he went as high as 265 pounds, which was exactly the goal this time. Plus, he has been extremely cautious about his workouts, so that he doesn't have another injury. He doesn't hear anything else. Plus, the added motivation that he has this time of being a champion while being a father. And what a legacy will he leave, even if he decides to hang up the posing trunks after winning his 6th title. And even if he is to do that, he wants to go out on the top in a very dominating fashion and then give his retirement speech. So classic physique has evolved so much since 2016. That year it was inaugurated to 2023 because the champs from back then, like Danny Hester and Breon Ansley, they are not the title contenders anymore. In fact, Danny Hester has retired. But C-Bum is still the gold standard to this day for classic physique. Did you guys notice that biceps flat on Brandon Carey's arm? So this was taken today while Brandon went through a back workout. So how many titles Brandon Carey would have won if his legs were as good as his upper half? I'm gonna say definitely more than 1. So we are in 2024 now. And the question right now is that, where will Brandon fit in the equation of this year's big show, especially in that top 6? So many people out there in the bodybuilding community believe that this is the year Brandon Carey will no longer be in the first call-out. He will no longer be in the top 6. Because so far, all the predictions that we have seen from all the bodybuilding experts, none of them have Brandon in their top 6. Plus, we haven't seen a single physique update from Brandon throughout this prep. Actually, throughout this year, we haven't seen a single physique update. And we all know he started this prep pretty late, which, by the way, makes absolutely no sense. And yes, I get it, that your health is your number 1 priority. But you just cannot expect to train for 4 months in the entire year. And I'm not just talking about the prep phase. 4 months in the entire year. And hope to beat guys who are so much younger than him, who are so much hungrier than you. Plus the fact that they had their foot on the gas throughout the year. So you cannot expect to beat them with only 4 months of training. Just take the physique of Andrew Jacked, the Texas Pro champion from this year. It is absolute guaranteed that even that 2019 version of Brandon Carey that won't be able to beat this Andrew Jacked. And the same can be said about the other guys as well, who are potentially gonna be in the top 5 this year. But the thing is, all those other guys, they have also been constantly improving, and they're all bringing their A game. Also, this is the first time since 2017 that Brandon isn't working with his former coach Abdullah, and that's another factor that might impact Brandon's placings. So do you guys think that Brandon Carey will retire if he doesn't place in the top 6 this year? Do let me know in the comments below. Next up, we have a 6.5 weeks out physique update of Behrooz Tabani. So you have got to give him a lot of respect, because he's training and dieting so hard for a show, where there is no guarantee that he will actually make it there. And I sincerely hope that I'm wrong on this one. But the chances of Behrooz getting a visa, they are looking very slim at the moment. But the man is still pushing extremely hard and at 100% for this year's big show. So Behrooz Tabani is a top 10 Olympian without a shadow of a doubt. But I have to say, as of right now, he isn't gonna be top 6. Although his coach Milos Arsev believes that he can beat both Nick Walker and Brandon Carey if he gets a chance to compete against them, and he can place as high as top 5. So Chris Cormier, who was a big critic of Behrooz, he said that he sees Miss Olympia potential in him, especially if he continues to get bigger, continues to grow his lower half. Now the judges could have flipped the coin, and Behrooz would have won 3 shows instead of 2 this year. Because I think we can all agree, it looked extremely close between him and William Bonac in Spain. So in case Behrooz doesn't get to compete at Miss Olympia, chances are that we're still gonna see him on the stage at Romania Pro. So he was runner-up at the same show last year behind Samson Dauda. And this is a much more bigger and much more polished version of Behrooz. And there is a very high likelihood that he is gonna win that show. Wesley was asked to give his classic physique top 5 at this year's Miss Olympia, although he said those names in no particular order. But I have to say that is the exact order that Wesley would want in 6.5 weeks' time. So Wesley is really confident that he has put on some solid muscle, especially in this off-season after this year's Arnold. And we can all agree that conditioning-wise, he is one of the most ready guy out there right now. So Wesley's story, and his rise to the top, and winning this year's Arnold Classic, that is a huge source of inspiration for many out there, including the current classic physique competitors. Because the thing is, he wasn't even placing top 10 up until 2020, and that transformation that he has been able to make, especially in the last 2 years, after he started working with his current coach Stefan, that is so phenomenal. So Wesley doesn't have the smallest waist in classic physique division, but he has very deep separations in his legs, and that muscularity that he carries, that is what makes him so damn unique. So the symmetry all around has also changed in the last few years. The back has also improved, although he was given the feedback to bring more depth and more density in his hamstrings and his glutes, and that feedback was after this year's Arnold. So Wesley's top 5 predictions, they are absolutely spot on. But do you guys agree with the order? Do let me know in the comments below. Next up is the physique update of Vlad. Still pushing the conditioning, and he is giving the subtle hints that he is going to be back on the stage in a few weeks' time. So he is most probably doing UK Pro, especially if he gets the visa, because that is a good opportunity for him to get the Olympia qualification for the 2nd time in his career. So Vlad's conditioning was absolutely impeccable in both the shows that he did this year. He was 2nd in Chicago and 3rd in Tampa, and his symmetry hasn't looked this good ever before. So Vlad has a lot of size, a lot of freak factor, plus that conditioning is also top notch. He's a very wide guy, he takes up a lot of space on the stage, and that is why his stage presence is also extremely impressive. It's just the fact that he was up against a guy like Muhammad Fada, who had a more eye-pleasing physique, who had better statics, better shape, better flow, and that became a decisive factor in Fada's victory there. So Vlad earned a lot of respect this year, because his conditioning on the stage, that was similar to his pictures on Instagram, and no one will ever dare call him an Instagram bodybuilder. So Hunter is most probably gonna shut it down after this year's Italy Pro. So that makes Vlad the favorite to win this year's UK Pro. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.